I've heard that your first little stint in TNA in 2002 to 2004 you described as a total nightmare. Why is that?
Oh, bro, that's because, I was kind of in the middle of the Jeff Jarrett, Jerry Jarrett relationship, and I did not want to be involved in that. And I know, Jerry Jarrett hates me, and that's got a lot to do with it because I worked very closely with Jeff, and I was very good friends with Jeff, and me and Jeff were probably more on the same page than Jeff and Jerry. So, he despised me for that. It was just horrible for me being in that situation with a father and a son.
What's Jerry Jarrett like as a person? Because now we've had recently Bruce Prichard doing a lot of impressions of him, so his name's been out there a bit.
Bro, Jerry Jarrett is very Jim Cornette-ish, where they worked in territories when certain things worked, okay? However, the things that worked in the 70s is not going to work today. And they still somehow, some way believe that those same exact things would work in wrestling today. So they won't get off it. They won't open up their minds to other ideas and a different way of looking things. They're very old school. They're very stuck in the past and what they did. And it makes it very difficult to work with people like that, especially in a creative environment when there can be no boundaries. Like, you've got to look at everything. You got to look at what worked in the 70s, what worked in the 90s, what's going to work now today in 2016. And when you're that closed-minded, it's almost impossible to work with.
Have Jeff and Jerry made up since they're following up?
I think they have, bro. I think they have, but I'm not positive, but I think they have.
What's going on with Global Force Wrestling? Do you have any idea? Is that pretty much it?
I don't know, bro, because I don't talk to Jeff that much anymore because of things that happened, with TNA. But I don't know.
And you ended up coming back to TNA for probably its most successful time. What made you agree to come back after your first bad experience?
Yeah, really why I came back, bro, was because Jeff's wife was dying. And I loved Jill Jarrett. I personally knew her. I personally had a relationship with her. I wanted to help my friend because, he had 3 daughters. His wife was dying, and I knew he needed help, and that's really why I went back.
Who was writing with you at that time?
Me, Jeff, and Dutch.
Okay. What's your opinion of Dutch as a writer?
I think Dutch is a genius, too. Dutch is very much set in his old ways as well, but Dutch will also look to today and try different things, and he's such an intelligent person. It's unbelievable.
Were you part of bringing Kurt Angle into TNA? Was that?
No, I wasn't part of it. I mean, Jeff had worked on that, but I was there when he first came.
You supported that.
Yeah.
What do you think the biggest reason was for your success at that time during, I guess, the best part of TNA's years?
Well, I mean, bro, the only place to go was up. It was a startup company. So as long as we continued writing good television, we would continue to build an audience. And as I said, bro, we had that rating up over at 2, and I think we had that audience at 1.3 million.
What were your thoughts on when they brought Hulk Hogan in and Bruce Prichard and not all of Hogan's friends, but a good amount of his friends?
Yeah, bro, a lot of that was Dixie Carter never wanted to make decisions. And she always wanted people to make decisions for her. So, it was, first it was Jerry, then it was Jeff. Then I literally got to write the show by myself for maybe 2 weeks with no outside interference. Then Bischoff, then Hogan, then Bruce Prichard, then John Gaborik. That was her problem. She never wanted to make decisions. She would always bring in these people to make the decisions for her. But what she didn't understand is every time she brought somebody in, they wanted to go in a different direction. So, every 2 years or whatever it was, you're completely changing direction and going another way. And, I think, we were heading in a certain direction with TNA before Hogan and Bischoff came in. As soon as they came in and as soon as they got Dixie's ear, it was off in another direction.
And you left around that time?
I left when Prichard came in, bro, because the creative was so level on top of level on it. There was so many freaking people involved in it, so many opinions involved in it, that it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. It was stupid. It was counterproductive. And I said to myself, somebody's got to bow out of this, and it might as well be me.
What do you think TNA's biggest mistake has been in their history?
Dixie's not cut out to run a company. You know, she's especially a wrestling company, bro. And like I said, her fear of making a mistake or her fear of being wrong leads to her not wanting to make any decisions. You can't run a company like that not making decisions or being afraid to make the wrong decision. And I said it all along, as long as Dixie Carter was running that company, it was never, ever going to reach its potential.
I know you're friends with Billy Corgan, but do you actually think he could have done anything to save the company?
Bro, if they would have let him do his thing, I think he definitely could have helped. If he wouldn't have had handcuffs, if John Gaborik didn't tweak his stuff, if they would have let Billy kind of run with his vision, I would have liked to seen that.
And what about TNA's future? It seems like ever since their inception, they're almost always just about to go out of business. Do you think they're going to keep stringing along for a while, or is it only a matter of time?
Bro, the hardest thing with TNA is, bro, and I found this out at WCW, and I'll tell you why. When I was there for 3 months, and Ed and I, we took the rating from a 2.5 to a 3.5, okay? Within 3 months, when I went home, that rating went from a 3.5 back to a 2.5. Okay, and bro, the numbers are there for anybody to look up. When I went back and I realized we had them here and now we've gone back here, bro, I knew in my heart of hearts we lost them. I knew we had a chance to get them back. We were getting them back. In 3 months, they went back to the same old wrestling shit. And I knew we're not going to get them back. I think it's the same thing with TNA, bro. They had 1.3 million people watching the product. They had them. They had them, bro. They've got 300,000 now. They lost 1 million people. Bro, once you've lost somebody, it is very, very hard to get them back. So I don't know. I don't know how they're going to get them back.